Hits per pound.
Yeah, this is how we do it in the Central Coast, man. We got 40 ounces, Old English, rag tops, 6'4" Impalas, and bikini girls, man. This is how we do it on the West Coast. San Diego, San Francisco, Los Angeles. But don't forget about the Central Cali, man. Please don't forget about the Central Cali. Yeah, get 'em.
It's another sunny day in the state of California. Low rider palm trees and G's that put it on ya. This ain't a negative, we speaking ebonics. Rank talk, candy paint on D's with hydraulics. Baseball hat with the sticker on the brim. Don't let the sun blind your sight, cause things can get grim. But I'm not here to talk about banana clips and guns. We're going back to Cali and we're gonna have some fun. A West Coast domination. And welcome back to Two-Face Entertainment Podcast. I am your host, Fred Segura. Now, check this out, guys. It is a wet one out here in Central California, also known as Monterey County, also known as the Salinas Valley, also known as the Salad Bowl. We are north to Los Angeles. To Los Angeles, we are north. To San Francisco, we are south. We are smack in the middle of California. We are the Central Coast. It's been a wet one out here, guys. It's been wet. Schools have been shut down. Vehicles have been damaged. Property's been damaged. Accidents, so on and so forth. Unfortunately, does it suck? Yes, it sucks. Overflowing rivers and and stuff like that. Some people, hey, being that this is more of an agricultural area. Good for some, bad for others. However, guys, with that being said, losing, your vehicle, losing your home, stuff like that. I just hope you had great insurance. It sucks having to deal with all that in the meantime while everything gets fixed and arranged. But nonetheless, guys, the positive note and the silver lining to me is materialistic things come and go. Can be fixed and replaced. Us humans cannot. That's it. I'll leave it there, guys. Mean no offense to anybody by that. Anyhow, guys, what I want to get into today, and I'll try to make it, it's, let's just get into it. Is going into the sense of belonging. How some people feel that they need to belong to something. As most of you already know, those of you that know me and have followed me throughout the years and stuff, know that I was heavily involved in the underground music scene. You get a lot of egotistical people. You got people sometimes say, well, I'm signed to this label, and it's like they can't even give you the right name to it. It's somewhere across the country where you're not even gonna. It doesn't even matter. Bottom line is they're not signed. Second of all, you ask them for the publishings, about their publishings, how they take care of their music, which I thankfully still receive royalty checks for my own stuff. I took care of my stuff and took care of those that work with me. But everybody's got to take care of their own stuff, guys. Anyhow, but everybody I work with, I always try to make sure they get paid. Anyhow, so when somebody says something like that, they're really not signed. They're just trying to belong. They're trying to sound more important than they're trying to be the elephant in the room. And it's like, oh, whatever, dude. I'm not trying to hear it. I could see through the BS. I've been in this so long. Whatever. Anyhow, guys, with that being said, though, I've always felt like it's been, when, even as kids, like even when we were kids and stuff, and maybe that group of kids did not want you playing on their team, but they had to because maybe you were in school and the teacher said, no, you have to let them play. And they said, well, yeah, you can play, but you can only play with these toys and you got to play in that corner. Which, you kind of took it as, and then sometimes it led up into a fight or you just took it, you know what I mean? But, and at the end, the teacher would come and break it up and nobody got to play. I say that to say this. And without trying to use any other label as an example, I'll use my own. Um, let's just say back in the 90s, early 2000s, when I walked into a record store, to go buy an album, I always walked into the rap section, with this country, metal, rock, jazz, whatever the situation is, right? Me, I went into the rap section to go buy an album. Boom, got it. Okay, cool. Um, as more of the Mexican American culture, also known as Chicanos, also known as Raza, whatever you want to call it. Guys, we're not going to get into the dynamics of that as well, but whatever you want to call it, later on started getting segregated. And you went into the rap section, but then you also had Chicano rap. And it's like, okay. So that's where you went to go find your different artists, that happen to be Hispanic, Mexican, Chicanos, whatever you want to call it, Latinos, whatever the situation is. And I always thought that was wrong. Me, myself, I've always considered myself just an artist. That can contribute and bring something to the table, being ghostwriting, being producing. And what I mean by producing, guys, is not sitting there making a beat. That to me, in my humble opinion, that's a composer. The producer is gonna sit there and listen to the artist do his vocals or her vocals in the booth, and somebody like myself who sits there and will produce will be like, you know what, do it again, or you know what, come over here, sit by me, and she sing the song again, or rap the song to me again. Okay, cool. I think you need to change this right here, change it to this, or end it like this, or do whatever the situation is, right? To me, that's producing. There's some people that do both. Some people that do engineering and do the producing at the same time. I don't like dealing with. Well, I have my certain individual people that I work with. I don't deal with that yes men. I'd rather have somebody tell me the truth and be harsh about it and be straight up, rather than to be like, yeah, and then turn around and be like, well, whatever. No, it's not gonna work. Anyways, guys, and again, going back to what I was gonna say, I'll use, instead of rather than use anybody else's and kind of put them on the spot, I'll use my own as an example, hypothetically speaking. When I've had artists come to Two Face Entertainment, I don't care if you're, black, white, purple, yellow, red, green, and blue, whatever it is. You're a Two Face Entertainment artist. End of story. I've always felt like I've seen other labels, major labels, and people take acceptance to that, and I've taken offense to it, and I'll be honest with you about it. They go into the whole thing of like, say for example, I said, oh well, you know what, I have this many artists, and I have these many, Latin artists, if you will, Latinos. I'm gonna do a Two Face Entertainment Latino. I had somebody try to do that to me, and the major labels try to get, oh, well, you can be, so and so Latino. Why can't I just be the actual label and that's it? Why do you gotta label me and put me into a box? It makes zero sense to me. Why? Why can't I just be part of the team? It's like, no, but you gotta sit over here on this side. You can't be, you can't be full-fledged. We gotta label it. It's gotta be something extra. Because we gotta identify who you are. It's like, no, dude, like I'm not having it. It just doesn't work for me that way. So do I take offense to that? Yes, I do. And not in a typical way of now where everybody's offended over every little single little thing. No, I mean it in the sense of labeling us in or putting us into a box and be like, well, what, you know, and again, it goes back to what I said earlier about being a kid, and it's like, oh, well, yeah, you can play with us because now you know you're part of the team, but you're not part of the team because you got to play over there on that side, and you got to play with those toys only. You can't play with these toys, but you're still part of the team. It just doesn't work. You know what I mean? I've always took offense to that. I think it's wrong. Um, it makes zero sense to me why we got to put a label on it. But a lot of people jump on that because they feel the sense of belonging. They feel the sense of, oh, I'm signed, and a lot of times, guys, a lot of these people want to claim that they're on a label. I've had people come to Two Face Entertainment just for the fact that of the name itself, you know, because I've been somewhat successful. I didn't blow up, but I've been somewhat successful in the work I've released and put out there in the universe. But however, um, they only see the end result. They don't see the work that's put into it. I've had people just come and sit there and be like, okay, so what's the next move? What's your next move? You are the artist. You are supposed to be on this. Wait, what are you waiting for me for? I didn't sit there and be like, okay, well, what's the next one? I went in and did it. You see all the success afterwards, but you don't see the work that's get put into it. And then they get impatient because it doesn't happen fast enough. They want to get it done tomorrow. And now, oh, you're putting me on the back burner. Um, it's not about that. It's not about that at all. Sometimes some of these artists want to jump for example, want to jump into the room and they're not ready for it. They're not as sharp as they think they are or as their homie is telling them they are. They need to take a building, you know, go on a little building stage. You need to build them up a little bit and get them to the right place. Take them out of their comfort zone. Take them out of the comfort zone, build them, and get them there. Because maybe they do have potential. You know what I mean? And sometimes, guys, and I'll be honest about it, it becomes babysitting. Because now you're babysitting this artist, and because this artist can't get it together, then, you know, the side friend doesn't help because they're out to be like, oh, well, he's not doing nothing for you. You're already tight. Look at all these people like you, and it just becomes a mess. They end up leaving, you know, screw Two Face Entertainment. They're no good, or they put me on the back burner, or whatever. It's always the label's fault. That's just a fact. You know what I mean? And let me tell you guys this much. It happens to every independent label. A lot of these guys, a lot of these artists, they want to be a part of the label because they want to be able to talk that they've were done dirty by this label and they're really worth a lot more. They need that to build their self-esteem. It's like I've said before, the Tupac syndrome. Oh, if I win a prison, I come out, oh, he's going to be tight. It's like, no, bro. The difference between Tupac and anybody else that's been to jail and came out and did a record was Tupac had a lot of talent. That's just the fact. Tupac had a lot of talent. Tupac went to the people that were hot at the time. The talent was there behind the producers, the composers, the label, the you know what I mean, just everything in general. It was at the peak of the moment, and you had a very talented individual that ended up being at the right place at the right time, and it just meshed, and it happened. There's nothing magical about going to jail, coming out and making an album and thinking you are the next Tupac, or because you came to the label that has been somewhat successful, you are the next Tupac. That's not how it works at all. Um, and really, guys, that's really it in a nutshell. In a sense, it's a lot of artists are just lazy. They depend on the label to do everything else. When in reality, it's what you put into it. I later heard different stories from different producers, well known artists, well known. I mean, major. They got done the same way. They got done dirty the same way I did by their workers and this and everything. Guys, sorry about that. Um, they got done dirty. So, because for the longest time I felt like, man, maybe it's because they feel like, oh, he doesn't have the right connections. And I will say this. I had a lot of connections to get stuff done. A lot of connections. And I wholeheartedly believe that it could have happened had the artist believed in me as much as I believed in them. But they got impatient. They got impatient and screwed it off. So therefore, why am I going to go to somebody and be like, hey, look, this is what I have from this artist that left? It's not going to happen. Another one bites the dust. The reality is, and the same result goes anywhere you go. Oh, I'm going to go do my own thing, and I'm this and this and that, and okay, fine. You never hear from them again. Are they getting the attention? Maybe they do a couple of shows. Maybe they're doing stuff like that, but nowhere near what you had planned for them. Nowhere near to what. Now you can say, well, they're building up their own thing, and that's probably even better for them. The problem is, guys, that we're living today in a world where rap music just, and I'll say it straight up, to me, rap music sucks. A lot of genre of music sucks nowadays. And I'm going to tell you why that is. Back in the day, you had the A&R. You had to go into a studio, and you had people overlooking everything. The beats, the lyrics, the single, the video, whatever it was. And you had people in there really producing your stuff, really saying, "Hey, you know what? Check it out, dude. I think you need to do this over. I think it's good. It has potential, but it needs to be better. This isn't good enough. This is just mediocre. Whatever the situation is, or this is good, and we just need to enhance it because you know what? Let's do this." Okay, not trying to knock the whole thing out, But the situation now is you record at home and you upload it to the internet. That's it. There's no quality control of what should be released and what shouldn't be released, or what can be held back a little bit because it could be made 10 times better. I've heard people like Daz Dillinger say stuff like, yeah, we produce stuff, but when Dr. Dre put his hands on it, it made a huge difference. See, people do not believe in that no more. Everybody likes to compare themselves to certain people, but they are nowhere near in that realm. That's just what happens. I don't believe in separating anybody. I mean, going back to what I started off saying about going into the record store was, I don't believe in going into I didn't worry about that. Like when I went into the record store, I didn't say, oh, Caucasian rap. Oh, you got to get the Eminem CD on that shelf over there because that's Caucasian rap. So why are you going to put Hispanics, Chicanos, Mexicans, whatever you want to call it, why are you going to put them on another shelf? Why can't they just be on the rap? That's my opinion. That's my harsh opinion, actually. That's where I stand by, and I stand by that. Um, really, guys, it's just, and again, going back to what I had said earlier, again, sorry, guys, I sometimes get all over the place, but a lot of these guys, they want to jump on that bandwagon of like, oh, well, I was signed to so and so, and they did me dirty, and da, 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 da. They want to have these stories to tell. The reality is, when it happens with those of us that are real, that's nothing to be proud of, to talk about. These are experiences that happen being done dirty, being done, by these pieces of work out there that just, you know what I mean? It's nothing to brag about. It's nothing to be proud of, that having gone through that. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Yet you got people jumping in seeking to do that, or looking for an excuse to do that, just so they can have something to talk about, so they can feel like they sound more famous, or more like, oh, I'm this and that. I wish I could tell you I stepped into the game and it was squeaky clean, and we made things happen. I look, I've been threatened by major labels, to cease and desist. And I've seen people bow down. Rather than to work for themselves, I've seen them bow down. I'm going to tell you straight up, I've seen them kiss ass to the person they believe is going to get them there. I've seen it. Then all of a sudden, that person doesn't get them there. Hey, they forget about them. Or they're no longer, as into it. To me, anytime I seen anybody get somewhere far, my thing is, bro, do not look back unless you need to, though. Keep it real. Sorry, guys. Ran out of memory. Had to come back and film. As I was saying, I'm sorry about the lighting. It keeps, again, the lighting and the clouds and stuff keep coming in and out. Sorry for the bad lighting. We're in my vehicle. Hey, this is what it is, guys. I'm sorry. Anyhow, guys, what I wanted to say was, I've seen a lot of people really kiss ass to others that believe that they're gonna get them there, and then once they don't get them there, they stop being their down for life homies. They're just fake. And anybody can call me whatever they want. They can label it whatever. But you know what? That's one thing I've never been, is fake and trying to jump on the bandwagon and ride somebody else's coattail. If anything, I've put in what I felt I wanted to do. And those who feel that, oh, well, but you've worked with those artists and you've done this and this and that. Okay, cool. But you know what? Check this out. Here's the difference. The difference is, those are artists that maybe I grew up listening to. I you know what I mean? And I admire them. So would I want to work with them? Yes, of course. Have all of them been the greatest experiences? No, they haven't. Have some of them been great? Some of them have established a good relationship? Yes, they have. So it's like anything, But I'm talking about, period, point blank, to be somebody's friend for the simple benefit of trying to get something out of it. You know what I mean? What, you can't do it yourself? You don't believe in yourself that much that you cannot do it yourself? I mean, come on. It just really made me see people in a whole different light. And it was disgusting. And to this day, when I run across them, because there's some of them, I've cut them off of my social media as well, but when something, friend suggestions and they pop up again, I cannot see them any different than, and I'm going to say it, guys, and I'm trying not to do this on this channel, but I don't see them I'll put it to you like this. I don't see them with any kind of respect whatsoever. None. Zero. Because to me, they're fake. That's all I'll say. I had a different word, but I'll hold back from saying that. Try to keep it clean on the channel. But yeah, guys, as far as fake people in this music scene, whether it be major, whether it be underground, whether, you know, whatever it is, it's all the same. Everybody has egos, and I know for a fact through some sources that I know, through sources that I've, you know, talked to, and maybe I watch their channels and have, you know, have had conversations with them. It happens in the industry as well. So that kind of jump started me to be like, you know what? I didn't do anything wrong. It's just people are like that. That's just what it is. People, that's just the way people are. And, hey, what are we going to do? We keep moving forward. Two-Face Entertainment continues to move forward. Again, we have expanded into doing this podcast. Well, it eventually, like I said before, trying to do it, you know, on a different manner where we have a nice setting and stuff. Yeah, but until we get there, this is what it's going to be. We came from a record label. Sorry, guys, a bell back there. But it's originally a record label, and that's a podcast as well. I still have like 3 albums in the vault, unreleased material. When it'll come out, I can't tell you. I had plans for that, but eventually things change. Sometimes people go through different things in their life. The unfortunate happens sometimes to people, and we're set on pause. Now, should I do that myself instead of depending on somebody else? Yeah, but again, I believe in teamwork, so therefore, I'm going to take care of them as much as I can, you know what I mean, as well, and help them out, whether, you know what I mean, it doesn't always have to be financial. It's just somebody to talk to, you know what I mean. If you need a friend, I'm going to be there, because that's what comes first to me with the people I work with. It's not just a business relationship with everybody. Some of these people are directly, you know, friends. So with that being said, guys, yeah, don't put me in a box. As far as music, it's rap. There's no Two-Face Entertainment South, Two-Face Entertainment North, Two-Face Entertainment West, Two-Face Entertainment East, Two-Face Entertainment Latino, Two-Face Entertainment, whatever, your mama's house, whatever. No, it's Two-Face Entertainment, period, point blank. There is no ifs, ands, or buts, or anything in between all that. Again, guys, stay safe out there, wherever you may be. Be safe, safety first. Always look at things this way, man. Everything else can be fixed or replaced except the human life. With that being said, I want to end it on that note. This is a Two-Face Entertainment podcast. I am Fritz Ura, signing out.